Oh my God. Okay.
Hi, I'm Nate,
I'm
and
Rox.
this is it,
The
the Bourbon
bourbon barrel.
Barrel. And today we're going to do something kind of unique. I haven't seen it done elsewhere.
Oh no, me neither. Not like the way we're gonna do it
So,
anyway.
yeah.
So
We've got three different batches of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. We've got the 2022 B, the 2021 C, the 2022 C.
never got an A.
We never got an A.
Now I'm
A
gonna
was
start right off this by pointing out something sort of awesome, so we
sure.
don't. Because look, you get these when you can get them.
Hmm.
Like we see them once in a while, and if you're not there within the right couple days before they're boom off the shelf, or
Yep.
if they're even on a shelf, because I'm sure some of the even smaller liquor stores, like
Yeah.
the one in Elmira that has like is tiny, he probably gets two bottles and it's probably a list. He doesn't even put them on a shelf.
Right.
Anyway, I was watching last night to do a little bit of research. I watched the Mash and Drum because that came up first, and I like his show too, Jason. He did all these things. I wanted to hear what they thought and try to get ideas and stuff to just like put in my head. And when he blinded the 321s that came out in 21 and the 322s that came out in 22, and
Hmm.
21 in the 21 version, the C batch won in his blind right on that show immediately. The 21, the 22 came in second to the A, I want to say. But it was never last. So apparently the C's are some
Pretty
of the
decent
better
stuff.
ones,
Good to know.
and the ones I happen to grab and or you happen to grab, we grab good ones. Some of these are all brand new, and this one way back here is this much left. So
Hmm.
we're gonna wonder maybe towards the end about the oxidation process
True,
and if
true.
we
Yeah,
anyway.
this has been open for over 6 months now, right?
Yeah,
So
March is when we put
March,
the out
so March,
episode
so
out. So,
April, May, June,
but
July,
did you
August,
hold it
September,
like
October. Yeah, you're
that's
over.
when we put it out? It could have been another month before when
So
we taped it.
we're
I don't
definitely
know.
over 6 months.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's right.
Never in, but it's really low too. Like we're
Hmm.
gonna kill it today. This is the end of this bottle. So
I'm not killing that.
even if we just do the taste, we might it'll be gone one way or another.
So again, as he said, I just took the plastic off all three of these.
Brand new.
So the cork hasn't been popped yet, nothing. So these are all going to be cracks just for you guys, because that's how much we care about you.
Anyway, sorry. The episode of that we did of Elijah Craig prior that included this bottle. This is where this started. Was that first episode? If you feel like going back and watch, please do. It's
Do you want
informative.
to do like a Scooby Doo, like
I you did it. You don't need me. You did it. We're good. I don't need to make that move.
more of a Wayne's World, right?
When you drank the C921 the first time, you said Pop Rocks.
Yeah.
You tasted Pop Rocks. You also mentioned that this is hard, and this is the third episode we're doing, so we're a little sauced in. You mentioned you had herpangina,
I did.
and that's the episode. And when I heard it, when I'm watching it last night to see like how we felt about things,
Do you
I had to
remember what
write
it
it down.
is?
No,
It's
no, I just remember the word, and I couldn't stop
yeah,
laughing.
it's caused by the Coxsackie virus,
There you go. I
and
knew that was.
it's ulcers in the back of your throat, usually gotten by young children in the summer months. And it was the dead of winter, and I was 18, so it's a thing. Yeah.
It's like anyway.
How you do it?
I'm saying
It's just like it
it.
sounds.
It made me laugh hard last night when I was
Nice.
watching it. So,
Hey, you might have been drinking.
oh no, no, I
Oh,
didn't.
he was sober laughing.
I didn't.
There
I
you
didn't
go.
do that last night because I knew I was coming here today in the morning. So
Oh, that
yesterday I
makes
didn't have a drink.
wonders.
So, oh my god.
So
We're gonna
let's start
start
off
this
with
one.
the off the rails barrel proof of 121. Are they all 121s?
No, no, it's barrel proof, so they're all different.
All right.
Like, okay, so this one's 124.8.
And this one's 120. And we're starting out with a 121. So they're
So
all in the same neighborhood because they're barrel proofs, but
yeah.
they're just ever so different because they're different batches.
Here's an interesting thing. I think I learned last night because nice. Um, so Elijah Craig is owned by Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill also owns Larson, and I knew that they put out barrel proof offerings a couple times a year for Elijah Craig, and pardon me. I also know that they are new and or know that they do the same thing with Larceny. I didn't know if one was 3 times a year, one was four, this, that, and the other. Turns out they're both 3 times a year, and they're both the exact same as far as like. So, what's your I have to look it up, but either one of these, I have that larceny that we just did a episode of, larceny barrel proof, right?
Interesting.
When we did the weeded thing, it's the exact same. Like if this is C922, it's C922. So
Interesting.
I think they do the exact, which
I'm wondering if it's just that's the month and year that it's released.
it's A, B, and C, and the nine is the month and the year, yeah. So because these are 21s and these are
Yeah.
nines, and this is what five, right? Because it's May, I
Yep.
think
So
five,
this is 5 2 what
and the
2.
first one's either one or two, like so,
Yeah.
like the A's. So, but they do the same things with larceny, which is the weeded, and this is the rye. This is a more of a high, this is a high rye versus the weededs, and also Heaven Hill is the only large one at all left that's still owned by a family. There is no over company. That was another thing we were at. Just some random show I was watching. Fred Minnick or somebody mentioned it and was like, "Well, Heaven Hill's the only." No, I think it was actually Chad from It's Bourbon Night. He was doing a show without Sarah because she was gone for the weekend or whatever with another guy, and they were talking about stuff. And he said Chad mentioned how well we all know that Heaven Hill is the only big distillery left that doesn't have a parent company that has finally bought it. They just won't sell it or something like that. So that's actually pretty
That
cool,
is cool.
so I'm just saying, like just little tidbits and facts. So
Tidbit.
that's really neat though.
Tidbit's a fun word.
It makes me like it more, and we're on tape saying we like
Yeah,
Elijah Craig.
absolutely.
We enjoy the larcenies. We didn't really crap on anything. I don't
Have
think
we
Heaven
had
Hill.
Heaven Hill on here?
I don't know if
I
we've
have an
actually
open
done
bottle.
the
I have to
101
assume we have
or the
regular
100 or
Heaven Hill.
101. It's bottled and bond, so it's got to be 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's another one that I wondered. One of my favorite sippers that we've never brought on the show is Evan Williams bottled and bond. You can buy a bottle for about $20, and yeah, it's a screw top, but it's also Heaven Hill, and but it's very good, and it's on a lot of other people's lists. Like Fred Minnick talks about it, and Bourbon Night talks about it. Like Evan Williams Bottled and Bond is a great like $20 bottle. It's just terrific, and I grab it every once in a while to have something. So I'm not opening bottles that I've spent a lot on or I want to put on shows or whatever. And we haven't put it on the show, but it's a $20, so we can at some point go. Why not try that one, which is Heaven Hill, and it's Bottled and Bond against your Heaven Hill
Yeah.
Bottled and Bond at the same company that's $50 and that one's 20 to see where that, you know what I mean? If we find, and we can look at the mesh bills and stuff before we do a show like that.
We can make that plus like the Wild Turkey 101 or something.
Wild Turkey 101, absolutely. Bottled and Bonds are, sort of all over there, but the Heaven Hill thing is a really cool story. There's a lot of stuff we can integrate into that. We could do these against the larcenies. Other people have some shows where it's like the B version of the larceny versus the B version of the Elijah Craig because it's our C or whatever.
I just don't see the larcenies like ever.
No. Well, no, I don't either. I think we'd have to get on lists or at least tell people that we know, like whether it's Adam or it's,
somebody,
Braden or Jim down at the other stores. So,
well,
nonetheless, sorry. I want to get this in there before we start drinking, and I'm like,
these are in the 120 proof range. Again, this is 121. So yeah, it's gonna get sloppy real quick.
These are all aged 12 years.
All of them.
12, yeah. Wow. Elijah Craig barrel proof are 12-year age stated somewhere.
That's impressive because these are only like $60 bottles. Wow, yeah.
12 years, yeah. So that jumped out to me to the point too, like last night, where I was like, I don't think I even, and we've had this bottle like for a year, and we never, not a year, but
it's hard to find anything that's double-digit aged anymore, and it's going to get harder and harder. I'd be impressed to see if they continue to keep it in a 12-year age statement.
And or keep it at a $60-$70 range,
right?
Or their MSRPs.
I know. I think this was like a 65.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
give or take.
That's not bad.
Nope.
Especially for a 12-year. Holy cow!
Nope.
And these are all very dark because they're barrel proof, so there's no water in there.
Yeah.
So I'm actually very excited to try this because I think it's going to be kind of almost up there with a double oak, but just higher proof.
Now, what are we starting with? The B, right?
We're starting with the B.
And these are all brand new opens
brand
here.
New. Yep.
And this is the old one.
That's true. We're going alphabetical.
Yeah. B and C. On one hand, I wish we would have had an A somewhere. But on the other hand, I'm like, we're also popping a C from 21 and a C from 22, brand new pops.
Mm-hmm.
So this one hasn't, none of these are oxidized, not the older one, because we just opened it.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting to kind of, if we can really bring that out on our third episode when we're into barrel proofs by the time we're
going to learn today.
Sure, your mother just walk away or something like that, you know what I mean? Like where you're having some bad conversation. Not your mother. Your mother's awesome. Holiday conversations when you probably shouldn't have drinks. When I go to certain holiday occasions, I always have like a bottle of ginger ale, but it's not ginger ale.
It's not ginger ale.
Because they don't really drink. And
Uncle Ned's going to bring up politics.
Uncle Ned.
It's going to happen.
I watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles last night. Not gonna lie.
dude, it's such a good Thanksgiving movie.
Two,
Yeah.
two. It's just too
My hands
perfect.
between these two warm pillows. Those aren't pillows. John Candy, you're a
How about
legend.
those
I'm sorry.
babies? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. Ooh, yeah, that's strong. That's definitely strong.
It's strong, but it's not strong
No,
ethanol.
no,
No,
it's
no,
there's
yeah,
sweet. You can kind of smell a burn, like if you take a deep breath.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like half a
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
half a chloroform, but
It's for this proof, and
that's
I
not
know
bad.
these were 120s ish.
This is 121. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a bad burn for a 121.
There's no way I'm going to tell the difference at this point or any
No,
point between 121 and
and
124 or
119.
something.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
come on.
it's not, and especially on the nose, no less. Like,
Right. Yeah.
but it's not. It's a very good nose for this proof.
Oh,
I mean, it's
that'll
warm.
get you. That'll get you.
Yeah, but it doesn't have that medicinal like ethanol burn either. It's
So
not
the first one kind of made me do the
right,
but
but it didn't fool me.
it gave me the hus.
It is.
Yeah, it gave me the hus.
This one was.
But that was I'm gonna Kentucky hug it.
It was
So now that I'm
wild.
used to it, I'm gonna do it again.
But what's that like thing we get when it's a bad burn because it's whatever it is, it's not
Agita.
done well, right? To me, it's medicinal or ethanol. It just
Mhm.
feels like you're not somebody just what I mean cheaped out on it and was like slap the label on. Who cares? Like this is not that. In my opinion, this is not that.
All right. So it didn't give me the hus on the second, but it's still very much of a burn in the back of the throat.
I'm
Um,
really not getting the back of the throat
I
burn.
am. I'm wondering if I don't. I'm
Surprising.
gonna try a little something, something,
Just to bring it out.
just to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm doing that too. I'll do it too. I'm down. Just a drip.
That was a bit much, but we'll figure it out.
Fair. I'm
Again, it's not a bad flavor profile. It's just a very. I'm not. I haven't.
dark fruits, dark.
We haven't been drinking proofs this high all day, so
No,
I'm sure that as this
no,
goes
we've
on,
gone up. Yeah,
yeah.
we went from 90 to right up to 120. So there's gonna be. I mean, I felt the heat too, but it
Mhm.
didn't feel like a harsh heat, which is why I say burn. I think if harsh heat is burn, you know what I mean. It's not.
Because it felt like it gave me heartburn.
It's like I got in a sauna versus getting a sunburn outside. You know what I mean? I went in there and it heated me all up, and I might not have been super comfortable with it all the time because sometimes it's too hot in the sauna or not
Yeah.
hot enough or whatever. But it's not a sunburn that just hurts immediately, sort
Hmm.
of, when you get it. That was pretty good. I've never said that before,
Proud
and
of
I
him.
like it. All right. I'm still not good with all the notes of the flavors and working on that, but that,
Get
that
there.
was a good analogy.
So this after the water,
It wasn't a char, it was a toast.
but I'm bummed.
Anyway, sorry. I apologize for
No,
interrupting. As
after adding the water, it brought out some of the notes with like a cherry. I got a cherry on the tip of my mouth. There was definitely some sweetness there.
I've never heard tip of my mouth before. I
Tip of
like
my
that.
mouth,
I like that.
right here.
I like that. Yeah.
Just the tip. But yeah, no, it wasn't bad. It's not bad. Flavor profile's there, and it does bring out some of those, like you said, those dark fruits. It definitely brings out like a dark, like a black cherry kind of for me.
Yeah.
Not so much of vanilla or like the
We have these things that were called
caramel.
filthy cherries, right?
Yeah,
Like, yeah. I don't know if that even is darker. I've never eaten one or, put it in a
basically
drink.
boozy cherry kind of thing.
Okay. Okay.
There's these Luxor cherries, or not Luxor. I forget what
Luxor
Luxor.
is like cherry candy, isn't it? Like
No,
chocolate candy? I
there's
know.
like these. There are these very specialized cherries, and they're like a little bottle of them like this, is like $20, but they are delicious, and that's what you're supposed to put in an old fashioned.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
That's a lot of, that's a
like
lot.
just for a garnish to have it $20 for like this little guy.
I'm saying.
But they're good cherries. They're boozy cherries.
Boozy cherry. I well, what other dark fruits are there? Give me an idea of dark fruits other than cherries. You got is it
Like
plums
plum,
or
date,
date
apricot, I guess.
apricot? Isn't apricot kind of like a lighter color if you
It's a
bite it?
lighter color, but it's considered a darker fruit.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, like your plums, your dates,
Did you get oak in it or not? Did you get the oak? We're talking 12
very.
years, so if we don't mention oak somehow, at least even if we don't
I
taste it,
mean,
we should say we don't taste it. Yeah.
I didn't taste it like in a way that you would expect to taste oak, I guess. So that's good because it wasn't prevalent and it wasn't something
Where
that
it didn't
was.
jump out as like
Yeah,
wood, because
right.
you're like, oh, wood. Ugh. Like, yeah.
Precisely.
I'm gonna try it again.
Go for it. I mean, it's
Well,
not like
a
we have
very
other
tiny
ones.
baby sip because now I'm wondering. I'm wondering about the oak thing and how do you. It's one thing to say I taste this and it's something I've tasted before, and I mean we've been doing a bourbon show for a year and a half, but I mean I've never actually licked oak or something. So when I say oak
Miss it out.
versus
You want some?
apples or cherry, I'm good. Thanks.
You can lick
I
that.
appreciate.
That's oak.
Yeah, I'm good.
You
Thanks. I
sure?
appreciate. Oh yeah.
I'm happy to let you lick it.
I'm sure you are, but I'm okay with that.
You
I
want
don't
to do it?
prefer to lick the
I'm
oak.
just trying to help.
He is. He's so helpful.
Very helpful.
You just don't understand. Parents just don't understand. There's a Will Smith reference for you.
Nice.
Hmm. The burn was a little bit okay. So I went from regular to added a little water to back. The burn, yeah, came back from
Hmm.
the water. I still don't get like that. Whatever oak is, whatever which I feel like it would be like obviously a woody kind of tannic
Yeah.
sort of
He's in
um
the big calibers now.
I feel like I have trouble with the difference between like tannic and the medicinal when I say that of that burn of ethanol sort of thing. That's where it kind of confuses me. But either way, if I see an Elijah Craig barrel proof and it's not secondary, which we don't see here, that just doesn't exist in this area.
Well, not.
Secondary
It depends.
in a store?
Some of them.
Really? Where?
There's a couple of them that are newer that are
Jacking it up? How far away from here, ish? Like within?
Ithaca.
Oh, okay. I've never looked into Ithaca stores, so
Mhm.
I can't speak on that. So anyway,
But
are these real corks?
yes, they're real cork.
Okay, cool.
Will not break.
We
Will not
always get
break.
those
It
bigger ones,
broke.
right? So what did we go to? C921.
C21.
So now we've got C21, brand new popped. So this is last year's. This bottle was made over a year ago,
It was made in September. Well, it was
Yeah.
bottled in September of 2021.
Yeah. So and we're going up in proof a little bit. Is that right?
Just a little bit. Going from 121 to 120. No, going down just a smidge. 121 to 120.2. So
Okay.
less than a point proof, which is much less than a percentage.
Okay. I didn't
So,
even pour it. I drank water,
attaboy,
and then
Rufus.
I'm telling you. When you say Rufus, are you referring to Bill and Ted?
Every day.
Okay, just making sure. Because I feel like that word or that name is out there other places, but not as prevalent as Bill and Ted. Oh, get that shit right. So let's
That
see.
escalated quickly.
It did, and you're welcome. We're good. There you go. So yeah, Jason from the Mashing Drum, and I always shout it out because I love watching their shows and I learn stuff, and they're great. It's awesome. This is his best of the series of 21 was the C, and it was overwhelmingly like if you watch that episode, he was like this one won out.
I
He
am
literally
picking up.
puts one glass way over like this and the other two over there. He's like those two and this one, and the C was yeah. So anyway, sorry.
So I am picking up a lot more sweetness on the nose of this one versus the B22. So
Yes, I agree. And the way I would have said it, but you said it first, and your way is better. I would have said there's less burn on my nose.
that too.
And but then with the way you said it, now I'm like, you know what? He's right though. It's more sweet,
Hmm.
and there's less burn and more sweet. So yeah, that makes sense. I know I have somewhere the Elijah Craig mash though, but you know, I can finger around to find it, insert
There
an
you go.
appropriate joke.
So I'm ready to taste this one because it smells real good.
I mean,
That's
you gotta taste it. That's what happens in life. You just gotta taste that.
all right. I'm gonna do it.
Go ahead. D921, Baptist preacher, father of bourbon, and all that.
Okay. Interesting. So well, it tastes. I find it tastes better than the first one.
Okay,
I find there's less of a burn,
fair enough.
but I'm also picking up something that I didn't pick up in the first one, which is more of a wheat or a straw
Wheat.
wheat.
All right.
Quill wheaten.
You're picking up the wheat or straw?
I am picking up a little bit of that, just on the
Okay.
very back end.
Okay.
A little bit of a grain flavor.
Fair enough.
The front is very sweet. The front is very tasty. The back end has more of the grains. That's a very interesting dichotomy.
So it starts off better than it finishes
Yes,
for you.
yes.
I got you. I got you.
But the burn is all but gone at this point because we probably ripped our taste buds off with the first one.
Coupled with all the other things we've drank today, or have been drinking today. Although none of those were like burn your
No,
face
those are
off
all
things.
90s.
Those were easies
Yeah, they're good.
for us at this point. Um. Anyway, yeah. Let's give this a shot and see what
Give it
happens
up.
there. Is there any way on God's green earth that we can remotely say anything, or you, I'm asking you because we're both standing here, can remotely say anything about this versus when we tried it back when and it was this one? Same bottle, same batch, same everything. And when we opened it back then on the other episode, it was a brand new pop. Versus this, or versus this, or anything. You can see how the verses are all, this is a very big, this is a multiverse.
There is.
This is the Bourbon Barrel multiverse. That's right.
There's no way I could say anything in direct correlation with these two because I don't remember this
Right. Oh, okay, here you go. EC Elijah Craig mash bill 78% corn, 12% malted barley, 10% rye.
Sure.
So that's what the mash bill
So
is.
I might be tasting that rye on the back end, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's not. So this is not. Well, that's a small batch is not high rye. I wonder if the barrel proof is high rye. It's because that's malted barley is 12 and the rye is 10.
I would think that these are all very similar to the same mash bill of the small batch, just held longer.
Yeah, that's what I would think too. 12-year age. So
And
I
then they're
doubt they would
single,
change the
and
Elijah Craig
these are
mash
just
bill,
barrel
right?
proof. Yeah, why
Right.
would you change the what works?
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So Elijah Craig is not considered a high rye. It's
No.
literally considered a barley
Yeah.
flavor grain, if you
hmm
will.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All Heaven Hill makes me again when I heard the thing about the Heaven Hill and that it makes me want to buy more Heaven Hill stuff,
Sure.
honestly.
Yeah.
And again, and that couples with the fact that all the stuff we've tried and discussed and stuff from Heaven Hill, we really haven't had any. Like I said, Evan Williams is one of my favorite bottle and bond, one of my favorite like sippers because you can get a 750 at 100 proof for less than $20 in this area, and it's really good for that price point. It's so good. It rivals the Evan Williams 1783, which is 90 proof. I get that, but at the price point, the 1783 is like 25, and that's 20. And I'll pull it on the show at some point. But
I
it's awesome.
I find it interesting, Evan Williams stuff, because they have those flavored whiskeys.
You didn't pour anything in my glass, right? So I'm still finishing this. Yes. Just making sure. Go ahead. I apologize.
The Evan Williams, when I first started out, like they have really good flavored things, like their honey flavor, Evan Williams, and they have like a cherry flavor, Evan Williams.
Yeah, they do the flavor.
They do that. But those are both really tasty and very well mixed things. Like you can mix them with stuff and they bring out flavors too. That like you put Dr. Pepper and Evan Williams cherry, you're gonna get knocked on it. Oh, it's gonna be bad. But like I mean those are like things you can do instead if you're not like into like drinking just straight bourbons and things, like you can buy those lower proof. I think they're like 70 proof or
Usually,
something.
yeah.
But like the Evan Williams cherry, mix it with like a soda and just have yourself a night, man. Like
Oh,
that's a thing you can do.
have yourself a night to not remember.
Yeah.
So you poured
I
this.
poured that.
Did you taste it?
Not yet.
Okay. Um, I still say we might as well just kill this bottle.
You do you, boo.
I'm the one that's got to drive eventually, not you. You could stay here and just make snow angels outside if you want.
I refuse to make snow angels.
Yeah, that's thing on. Maybe at some point you're okay with the snow angel part. Um, so here's an interesting tie into what you just said, actually. So a week or two ago, when I was looking, like I said, I buy the Evan Williams bottle and bond as a sipper, which is good. I've been often wondering about the Knob Creek
Mm-hmm.
maple, and it's on their thing. Now,
Interesting.
it's also not a low proof, it's 90.
That's wild.
Knob Creek, so it's one of the slightly higher Jim Beams. It's not Booker's, but it's also not Jim Beam White Label. It's, Knob Creek's kind of in there.
And
And
then
it's not their 18 or 15 year, it's just Knob Creek, but
hmm,
it's maple and it's 90 proof. So I bought a bottle. It was about 28 bucks. Not the end of the world. And I figured you probably didn't want to do it on the show.
not particularly.
No, right, exactly. So I was like, let's just try it and see what the difference is. Because I kind of started out on this journey with, like he said, I was doing the peanut butter whiskeys. I was like, that's amazing. I can't believe they made whiskey taste like peanut butter. And I still think that stuff is delicious, but it's not like it's not this
It's a
stuff
different
now.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whole. Yeah, one's baseball and one's football or something like that.
Sure.
But so I bought a bottle and it's at 90 proof. I assumed if it would have been 70 or 60, it'd been Jim Beam because Jim Beam does what Evan Williams does. Jim Beam has like Jim Beam Orange, Jim Beam Vanilla, Jim Beam all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, it's incredibly maple. So I mean, it's not like a hint of maple. It's maple. Like I had to add a rock just after I tasted it
So
once. I was like, you can't.
you gonna pour it on some waffles? Like
I would eat it with waffles.
that's
I would
fair.
drink it when I'm eating waffles. But I mean, it's not bad, but I'm the bourbon dumpster. I'll eventually be gone.
I'm wondering, maybe make it an old fashioned kind of thing. like we did with the apple cider. Make it like an apple cider old fashioned with some maple.
Bring it here then, because I don't want to buy all the stuff. And you have all the stuff already, so
I have all you need are the bitters, really.
I don't want to buy it.
An
I'm too
orange,
bitter. I don't want to do it. So
some apple cider.
I just
I feel like it would probably be very good in an apple cider.
sweet. It probably would. I'm not
A
arguing at
maple
all.
apple cider? You kidding me?
Oh,
Yeah, I bet.
I just figured if one time I was going to try something else flavored and it was Knob Creek, it's the only thing Knob Creek that
That's
has a
flavor.
flavor. Nothing
Well, we'll try
else.
it out.
At
We'll see what
90.
happens. We'll make
So
an old fashioned out of it.
we are now trying this C921. That's old.
Same exact thing, just old.
Yeah, older. And if you want to say oxidation, obviously,
Oh yeah,
I'm the one who we opened it, and in the past, what did I say, March? So we're like 9 months, 10 months,
yeah.
probably because we probably filmed it a month before
In
that.
February.
Um, over the time I've done this, it hasn't been sitting outside. It hasn't been in sunlight. Blah, blah, blah. So it's just interesting.
There we go.
So from what we just drank, which is the same stuff,
Okay, so it's definitely opened up more.
and
I'm tasting a spicier front end, but I'm also tasting more cherry.
ooh, I was gonna say you beat me, but I was gonna say something different because I was gonna say a spicier back end. I didn't get it at first, but then as it's swallowing down my throat, I was feeling the spice.
So I think it's not gone bad, which is
Oh
nice.
no,
It's definitely good, and I think that the oxidation's actually helping
gone bad by the way. Like,
that rabbit hole that fell apart.
but we did it just recently, and I didn't
And
think
we
it was that horrible.
it,
Like,
you could distinguish that there were different grains there. You could distinguish the different flavor profiles. You could base that compared to a brand new open. You could tell there was a massive difference.
but that's just an opening up, and it's just been open for too long, or
Right,
it's
and it started to fall apart essentially. Like there's things in there that shouldn't be there that should have been blended and were no longer blended.
I don't feel that about this right now.
Right. No. This
We just
I feel,
drank this and this, and
Mhm.
I feel like this one just opened up.
I feel
Like
like
I
this
was like,
one's much better than this one just because it's hit the appropriate
that's
amount of
exactly what I
oxidation.
was gonna say. I
Yeah.
was like, I thought it was gonna be blasphemy. I was gonna be like, I think I like this better than this,
No, you're right.
and maybe that means to me and to us now because he
Yeah.
said it before I was even gonna say it, which is like maybe that means like when it comes to barrel proof stuff, we're
You
actually gonna be more fans of like we can
letting it
pop
breathe.
corks and
Yeah.
try stuff and let you guys know what it's like when you pop it because you might want to
Mhm.
know that. You should want to know
I
that
mean, yeah, because
if
you're
you
not
buy
gonna
something,
you're not
you're
gonna
probably gonna
pop a
love it.
cork and not drink it.
Right,
Like that's
right.
not a thing that happens.
And this wasn't bad. I'm
No.
not saying, well, that's shit. Now it's awesome. I'm saying, like, this is just a little better. It's
Mhm.
almost like, okay,
It's not a night and day difference, but it is definitely opened up, and it's definitely you can taste the things more accurate. You can taste them better. You can taste them more fully.
true. What's the difference, if at all, in how to discern between this and either a drop of water or an ice cube when it's brand new? Because I feel like it's a similar process. The opening up is what the ice does to it for
Hmm.
me, or
Yeah.
a drop of water does for me to things like this.
So I don't know if any alcohol's evaporated because it's been in the bottle with the cork on.
Right, right,
Versus if you're diluting it with water,
right,
you're going to get a lower proof, but you're also going to, so the water might bring things out that aren't there.
right,
So
right,
this should still technically be the higher proof
right,
that is without the ice.
right.
It's just the flavor profiles have come out further because of oxygen. So I get it's a very similar process. I chemically speaking, I would assume because water is H2O and O2 is part of that's oxygen.
Right.
Like you have nitrogen, oxygen, all that stuff. Like actually the stuff you're breathing is like 70% nitrogen and like 10 or 15% oxygen or something like that. But the oxygen part and the O in the H2O are the same exact thing. That's the actual oxygen, which is what I would assume is opening it up.
So it's very similar.
Yeah, I don't think you're generating a lot of like hydrogen gas when you're putting ice into things, but the oxygen is definitely gonna move things around.
It's to me, it does a lot of the same things to me in my mouth,
Yeah,
in my experience, in my review, and my thoughts of those bourbons
but
and or whiskey.
I mean, both of these are very good. They're very similar. They're the same batch. It's just one's been open for almost a year, one just opened.
And that's silly. I'm a little bit surprised, but not. But
Hmm.
you know what else I'm a little bit surprised isn't just because of what we're talking about, but it's because it's the third episode.
Hmm.
And at this point, I'm thinking I'm actually picking that up, and I'm actually realizing that I'm actually thinking this is better than this, and then
Hmm.
I'm kind of like, is that right? And I'm like, and first off, there's no wrongs. There are no wrongs.
Right.
What you like is what you like, and how you like it is how you like it, so on and so forth. And some people do everything the way they want to do it.
Honestly, I was very hesitant with this one just because
It's
I
so old and so low.
yes,
Yes,
I knew the time that just recently with the rabbit hole we did that and it fell apart and it was like half a bottle and it had only been open for maybe 8 9 months.
could in any way, shape, or form. And maybe you know the answer to this, maybe you don't. I certainly don't. But he has this background. Could it have anything to do with the fact that the Derringer was finished in like whatever it is? It's either port or sherry casks, and
Sherry,
it's
yes.
another variable into this process of trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Would that break it down quicker as far as like
I was talking about not I wasn't talking about the Derringer
if you
stuff.
missed that it was
I was talking about the was it the Heikel, the Black Label
oh
rabbit
it was
hole.
I thought it was the Darren oh you
The,
yeah oh I'm thinking of
the
that
Derringer when we
fingerprint
opened it up
thing.
was very good,
Right.
and that had been open for over 6 months. But I'm talking about how we had the Black Label we just opened versus the Black Label that had been open. The
Oh,
Black Label that had been open was
because you were
real
not
bad.
happy about that fingerprint
I
version,
was because
sort
I
of.
didn't think it was the same thing.
Right, right,
However, I did enjoy the Derringer once it had opened up, like a lot better. Like it
right.
was very good.
Yeah. I think I'm a fan of occasional water, occasional ice, and occasional opening up. I
Hmm.
think are all good things for me.
Yeah, no, for
Um,
sure. That's why you're rocks.
and if you wouldn't, but if you don't try it when you open it, then you don't know if it's
Right, you're
better or
never gonna
worse. You
know for
gotta
sure.
know. You're gonna learn today. Um, So, okay, so this is the last offering of 2021. This is the last offering of 2022,
Bottle
and
the year
that's
apart.
next.
So
Yep.
let's do that.
And we're going up a little, I think, because now
Ever
we're
so
at
slight,
124.8.
124.8. So you're going up.
And we just had this one
You're going up by like two. What's that? 2%, 1%, 1.5%, roughly.
words, math,
Delicious.
math words. All right, let's not go crazy.
But to go up by a percentage point is like you're not gonna know. Which actually is one of those fun little like thought experiments if you think because like okay, let's say something is 70% alcohol.
So it's 140 proof.
Sure.
Okay, alcohol by volume. That's what you meant.
Yeah.
70. Yeah, right, right. Okay.
So you take it down to 69%.
Don't make me think.
No, 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 just hear me out.
I'm
You
upset.
take it down to 69% alcohol.
Don't tell me what to do.
You can't taste the
Go.
difference there. You
Right,
take it down to 68%.
right,
Can't taste the difference there.
right.
67, 65. You can't because you've been
He
going
skipped
down
69 on purpose, so I would make a joke.
absolutely.
Yeah, all right.
And so
If our comedy doesn't do it, I'm not sure what does because we're not pros. So
right. So where is it that you start to taste the difference?
69.
No,
Oh,
because it started at 70, you went to 68.
no, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, my bad.
But you can't really distinguish the difference between the 2%.
If Hollywood was involved, I went to 69.
Attaboy, Rufus.
Hey. So in something there. At some point, somebody watches some of our episodes and it's like, what the hell? And but we gotta make them laugh. And I don't want to strip because everybody will laugh if I do that. But
I mean, hey, that'd make a good episode.
by the way, okay, completely side note. This all started, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof started in 2013.
Okay.
Never been before. And then also, where did I write it down? Blah, 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 blah. The highest proof ever that they ever did for Elijah Craig was a 140 proof. And it was in like 2014. Here it is. Highest proof ever was 2014. One of their batches was 140.2.
That's like the highest it can be, right? And still be a bourbon is 100. I thought
There's, but
120.
there's also something you can't get on a plane with, right? Like you can't
Anything over
actually.
70% alcohol.
So that's 140.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 140.2.
Or maybe it's 70 proof.
He's
I don't know.
okay. We haven't tasted this one yet. Yes.
No.
Okay. All right. That was just noises. Did you like that? Bark, 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 bark. You know you like it. Don't lie. Like, subscribe, or we'll come for you, or on you. Something.
Nope.
I just love this. This is so much fun. Anyway, did you taste it?
Not yet.
Okay,
Did you pour it?
I did.
Okay.
Yep, I'm on this. Yeah.
So I'm getting more of the ethanol on the front, more of the burn as compared to the 21. Um,
I'm gonna have trouble going from the nose and the nose and the taste and the taste of the
yeah,
next to the next, and this is gonna be.
they're all very
I've got to
similar,
individualize when I'm
right?
just like I don't remember these in that way that how that in depth. 19 shots in today, or what the fuck? Not 19, but I'm getting a lighter fruit note on the nose as far as like my head immediately says like apple and pear and something like that's my
Honestly,
nosy
I feel like this has ruined it for us.
in a good way though because it was awesome.
This was great,
Right. So it's fucked up this
which
shit.
made this not as good.
That's I imagine we're going up in proof and we're popping the cork to
Hmm.
something that opened up and was lower in proof for a good 7, 8, 9 months.
Yeah, no, this honestly is not nearly as good as the sea
It's Elijah
bash.
Craig's fault. Goddamn preachers. Now you talk about the taste while I taste.
So
Does that make sense, right?
that the 21, I think definitely has a beat, even not being open. There's more burn here.
Yep.
There's less flavor.
A little bit. Yep. Yep. I get that.
It's not as open. I mean, I'm gonna try. I'll throw some water in it to see because we did that with the C from the 21 year.
Holy Christ.
But
This is the craziest math problem I'll
yeah,
never understand.
this is
This isn't like 4 times 4. This is like four
you
times.
gotta take the integral of 4.
I don't even say words like that. Oh, I'm
That's
offended
calculus
now.
for you.
I'm upset.
You say weird math word.
Right. I don't want to talk about this.
But calculus is fun, man. You should get into it.
Calculus is fun.
Yeah. It all
That's where
depends.
he's smarter than me.
Nah, you gotta have the right teacher. Like if you could teach Japanese to a monkey if you had the right medium.
Oh no, I yeah, no, I totally agree. I always told my kids that like the people the professors I always had that I liked the most were the ones that kept me involved and kept
Yes.
me like entertained
Hmm.
as opposed to the monotone guys that are like
I
nod. Yeah.
I took calculus in high school and I all but failed it because the teacher sucked. I took it again in college from a TA,
And you were probably an
and I
honorable.
got a 99.
Right,
Like
exactly.
it was the easiest thing I ever did.
Hmm.
All right.
Try this again on purpose for a couple reasons. I'm still on the
The water helps.
water helps.
The water definitely helps bring out the cherry.
Oh, you're still doing this one, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, then actually, you know what? To keep some continuity to this, not only am I gonna pour another bit, but I'm gonna do what you just did. Maybe people, if you're watching this, like we do, like I do specifically, I do it probably a little bit more as far as because I'm not techie and he does all
He's
the
half
tech
our
stuff.
views.
I get like I watch all these things to learn about things, what they say and how they say it, to try to learn like my palate and what I'm tasting and stuff. Because when you start doing this, this isn't like you grab a bottle of something and taste a big cherry bomb in your mouth.
Right.
Like that's cherries. Like it's not like Jim Beam cherry. It's like you got to learn where those little tiny
Nuances.
nuances, excellent word, are on your palate. And now I'm trying to do that like with this because you're doing it. And if you watch one of our shows and you're actually trying to get educated, it's not.
Sorry.
It's, you know, you can learn from it. You can pick pieces out and learn and buy your own stuff and see what we mean and stuff and go through it. And we're not lying to you at all, but it's like we're all over the place. Like
Yeah.
we're just, you know, we're like a stripper with a disease. So we're just everywhere.
I'm nothing like that.
Anyway, ooh,
The water helps, right?
but again, what it brought out to me is like a lighter fruit thing. I'm
Interesting.
tasting like uh, pears and apples or something. I'm not tasting. Now again, I'm doing it without the like with water. But Jason from Mash and Drum said chocolate covered cherry, flat
Yep.
cherry soda.
Yep.
With the water,
Hmm.
I'm not getting the flat cherry soda at all.
Yeah, I'm getting exactly that. It's like a Dr. Pepper that's gone on. Yep.
Nice. Well, I've often said, yeah, I think you have a better palate than me, and I think you've got a more established palate than me. And you're just smarter, so you probably get some of the tastes better, like I was just
I've
discussing.
just
I'm
been
trying to figure
drinking.
it out a little bit.
No, it's not bad. Definitely something that you should throw ice in though, if it's a brand new pour, brand new open. Um, that's how I would prefer that one, honestly, is probably with some ice. Um, I don't think that any of them are bad.
Right. Oh, no, no, no. I'll buy the next one I see if it's not
Mhm.
$150.
$1 bajillion. But definitely something that,
Well, if it's a bajillion, I'll buy it.
yeah, wow, that's a lot
I've
of money.
never seen
Like,
anything with a bajillion price tag. Price
you,
tag.
how do you have $1 billion?
Well, I don't know. Bajillion's not a real thing, right? So I do have it
It's
because
after a
nobody has it.
Googleplex.
Huh?
It's after a Googleplex.
A Googleplex?
Hmm. That's a real one. Look it up.
Googleplex is an actual monetary
Actual number. An
designation.
actual number.
Googleplex.
Googleplex. It is a one with
Is there a
hundred
Yahooplex?
zeros. No,
Oh,
a Googleplex is, I think it's hundred zeros.
I'm impressed that we just did that with a straight face.
Yeah, man. Math is power. It's a number so big that you're not ever going to come across it in anything unless you're talking like universal standards. And even that, they're going to do a notation of like 1 to the X power. But
I don't know how to quantify it by any of the imagination. Any
you can't.
There
It's
you
a
go.
number so big that your mind cannot possibly wrap its head around it.
Right. I wasn't even talking about that. So that's what this
No.
is. That's what happens on the third episode.
Words.
Yep. Cheers to all of you and happy holidays. If you see this before or after, I don't know, whatever. I don't really give a crap.
You might.
I hope you had a happy holiday, or I hope you have a happy holiday, depending on when you see this.
It's true. True.
So there. I don't give a crap what holiday you celebrate either.
But yeah, so Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is a winner.
Say you should celebrate Saint Elijah Craig's Day.
I don't think he's a saint.
Buy me a gift and send it to me. He is now.
He'll put up his P.O. box later.
Mm-hmm. I want to try
Rough,
that
Chicago, Illinois, 60692.
cinnamon. It jumps out as cinnamon
Yep,
now.
there is some cinnamon in there.
I went from neat to water to back to neat on this one,
Mm-hmm.
and I immediately caught cinnamon. And now maybe the faintest hint of cherry, but still it's barely there.
The cherry was very pronounced. The cinnamon was back in on mine, but yeah, I get what you're stopping at.
You know,
I hear what he's saying and what he's not saying.
yeah. If there's any way to quantify it, could you pick a winner
No,
in any way, shape, or form? But that's the coolest. Isn't that cool? Like that's so awesome in a way.
the one that had been opened up, honestly,
Yeah.
was the winner because it had all the flavors right there for you. You
Is
didn't
that
have to
because of
look for
proof
it.
points or something? Is that a big part of that?
I don't know. I
Like,
have no
would that have
idea.
been true if these were 90s?
I have no idea. I feel like if it was a 90, because I'm pretty sure that rabbit hole was in that 90 range, and it fell apart. So it could be that the alcohol keeps together longer. I don't know.
It takes longer to open up if it's a higher ABV than it does if it's a lower ABV.
That would make sense to me.
Okay. I mean, these were all the same price point.
Mhm.
These are all the same,
They're the same
company.
bottle, same company, it's just a different batch.
Yeah, but I completely concur with his statement on this one. Like the old one is the one when I first tasted it neat in this episode, I was like, that's tasty.
Mhm.
And we had tried this and then this and then this, and now I go to this and I tried to play with it and stuff. And interestingly enough, too, if you want to do it, and I didn't, or if you want to say it, because I didn't, I tried to watch some stuff last night to try to get some ideas of what we thought and what we think and what other people thought. And I went to Mash and Drum first because it popped up first. And I like his show. He's a good guy. He's funny. He's got good inferences. I don't know what the drum part is. What is that? Mash and drum. I didn't get the mash. What's the drum? Is a barrel considered a drum? Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't 100% sure. And you have a lot of anyway. Um, he didn't pick this one the winner of 2022. He picked it second, but this one he picked as the winner of 2021 overwhelmingly.
I can see why.
And then you open it up on top of that, and it's kind of like okay. And I was texting him earlier this week or last week, and I was like, I think I have a C and an A or something like that, but I don't. But it turned out I had two C's. They were both brand new. I just hadn't opened this one or this one, 21 and 22, and
Yeah.
now they're both open. I could leave them sitting like that. I won't, because they're too good. They're too yummy and tasty and wonderful, and
They're
it's not silky, but I hate saying smooth.
Heat.
I hate saying smooth though. Smooth is so generic, like
Mhm.
but it's so like
I'm gonna,
welcoming and lovely.
I'm gonna buy him a thesaurus for Christmas.
Lovely, welcoming feel. Like it's just you get into those barrel proofs, and I used to, and I still do, and I just haven't had it in a while. And I'm not gonna like go into anything else, but I did, and still will tell you that I love the Bullet barrel proof.
Mhm.
Right, that was one of my favorite barrel proofs, and this one it rivals it all over the place. And I do think these were probably the best as far as like I didn't get
I feel like this one
exceptionally
gets a bad
exceptional.
rap because it was our first one of the day at this proof, to be fair. But it's not bad. It's just it was so much warmer than we were used to at that point.
Right. We went up third in proof
That's why I
months that
tried to
we've ever
Kentucky
heard.
hug it,
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
make it have a fair shake. But
It's Elijah Craig's a good, and Heaven Hill is
yeah,
in a general rule they do a good job. Like it's I don't have a lot of issues with Heaven Hill and or Elijah Craig, Evan Williams 1783, new and old, and we've done all that, and it's good stuff. It just is. They know what they're doing. There's a lot of Beam influence too. I'd like to mention that because like when Heaven Hill started or whatever, either started or right near the beginning of their company, they brought in beams. Like, and you know what I mean. Jim
yeah,
Beam had, you know what I mean.
his fingers in everywhere.
Yellowstone
Yep.
is a new craft distillery and newer, comparatively speaking, craft distillery, and there's a beam involved in that, and he's one of the beams that didn't want to be part of the whiskey back then, or his dad or whatever, and
Yeah,
now he wants to, and that's why he's got a craft, but he's a beam. There's beams everywhere, like high beams, low beams, whatever.
medium
It
beams,
might blind you sometimes if you drink
high
too many high
beams,
beams. Why haven't they came up with that, like the high beam whiskey or something to
or
try
the
to
I beam
high beam? Whoa, boy, it's not even right.
made out of steel.
I don't understand.
All
Anyway,
right, well, I'm
you
neat.
can't even pick a little. Oh, you said this was the
Yeah,
winner. Yeah,
yep.
no, and I
Disagree with me, I dare you.
No,
That's what I
I
thought.
can't. I can't. It's he's right. Basically, I think what we're both saying then before we like right now log off is like saying that like open it up,
Yeah, let
try
her
it,
open.
open it when you open it, try it
Like
so you have some
get home at the end of the day, pour some out, and then go back to business, take your shower, do what you gotta do, and come back to it.
right.
Like
Well,
give it like 20 minutes.
but I'm saying like if you pop it open and try it, at least you know what it tastes like when you pop it open and try it.
Yeah.
So, but then maybe take your shower or something too. So we're not the same person. Like I'm saying, you know what I mean?
But
And
yeah,
he's right, but I'm saying you could do it in a different way too. Because I'm glad we popped it and tried it. Because I was like, wow, like if I would have done this and then this,
hmm,
I wouldn't have had the wow for this because of this being for that. And you know what I'm saying?
he's saying a lot of words.
It was a lot of sentence fragments and muddled nonsense. But yeah, he's right.
I understood it, but that's because I've been drinking. Maybe you didn't understand it as well.
So
Let us know in the
drink,
comments.
drink while you're watching this
Yes,
episode.
sure.
If you get to this point of this episode, and it's
Thank you
all
very
one,
much.
by the way, because it's long as shit, um,
But
we
yes,
love you. So
I'm neat.
I'm probably rocks.
He is.
I was.
This has been
I'm gonna.
the Bourbon Barrel.
He's right.